Video game golden boys CD Projekt made their first big PR mistake in years. The Polish company, loved by many for their pro-consumer stance and of course their work on the Witcher series, tried to place a trademark on the word cyberpunk. But cyberpunk is not their f***ing word, and the news disappointed a lot of people. CD Projekt are the good guys. They just don't do this kind of shit. Right?
CD Projekt is moving away from the Witcher series, at least for the time being, with their next game, Cyberpunk 2077. We've not seen much of the game so far, but we do know it's set in the universe created by game designer Mike Pondsmith. It's not due out until 2018 at the very earliest. As you can tell by its name, it will be a game that falls into the sci-fi subgenre that is cyberpunk, along the lines of Blade Runner and Deus Ex. You see what's happening here? The game is called Cyberpunk, but cyberpunk is itself a genre. It's a commonly used word to describe a story or video game setting, like fantasy or horror. But CD Projekt's lawyers reckon they should slap a big fat trademark on it, effectively giving them a kind of ownership of the word. It's easy to see why some people were annoyed.
So they tried to trademark the word cyberpunk. But being the reasonable bunch we know them to be, CD Projekt made an effort to explain themselves a few days ago. They posted this lengthy explanation on Twitter, topped with the short summary that the trademark is a defensive measure only. They don't plan on using it offensively. But there is a little more to it. As they explain in the post, trademarking cyberpunk would protect them from having to fight for the name in future if they wanted to make a Cyberpunk 2078 or Cyberpunk 2, for example. They also point out that a trademark is not the same as a copyright or a patent, so it would not stop anyone using cyberpunk as a setting or using the word outside of the course of business, in branding, marketing, and so on. They also said it would not stop anyone using the word cyberpunk in their own titles in future unless it leads to confusion with CD Projekt games. If someone names their game John Smith Adventures in a Cyberpunk Dystopian Society, or 20 short video games set in cyberpunk worlds, none of them would be treated as an infringement on our rights, CD Projekt said in the post. But one important note here, CD Projekt already has a trademark for the word cyberpunk in the US since 2011, and as they innocently protest, there isn't any evil plan behind that.
Before we check the facts, let's just jump on the bandwagon. Let's light the pitchforks, get the pitchforks out and start
light the pitchforks.
Light the
pitchforks.
Flaming pitchforks and throw them at CD Projekt Red, because that's what we know the internet does. How dare they use trademarks to protect their intellectual property? I'm just not,
So what's interesting about this is a lot of time companies, when this kind of legal news story emerges, hits all the gaming news websites, the line that you get a lot of the time is just, this is the lawyer speaking, they just have to do this to defend our rights. The difference here is CD Projekt have come out and said, well, this is why we're doing it. Maybe we'll want to make more cyberpunk games in future, and it doesn't stop other people from making cyberpunk kind of games.
So their issue is that if someone else comes in and makes a cyberpunk trademark, then they won't be able to make a cyberpunk sequel.
Yeah.
So you can see where they're coming from. I've seen a lot of people get upset in the past, especially here on YouTube. And I mean, it's not related to gaming, but when the Fine Brothers tried to trademark React videos, there was a huge, absolutely huge uproar. And that was mainly justified, where they were getting a backlash because they tried to copyright or trademark the React format in a YouTube video, which was bullshit, okay? And a lot of the uproar in that situation was justified. If you guys are familiar with that, what happened with the Fine Brothers, don't confuse that with this. It's completely different. There's a strong desire for self-preservation by CD Projekt. They're going about it by, they're just being completely honest, like, we're not going to stop people using the word cyberpunk. They're trying to stop people impersonating them and other people making money from the name.
It's common practice. If you're going to make a game, you're going to call it Cyberpunk 2077 and you're going to trademark that because it's your title, okay? So it's fair enough. Rather than placing trademarks on all these potential titles that they might have in the future, if they just secure that word cyberpunk, they don't have to worry about anything else because they've got cyberpunk. So they don't have to do 2078, 79, 80, 81. They don't have to do do that. You know, obviously this is all time and money. They just came out and explained, well, we've got property here. We think we're onto a winner. We want to look after it. You've got the option to read this full post, which is a full breakdown of their argument, and they even say at the top, if you can't be bothered reading this,
too long don't read.
Yeah, the short version is we're just defending ourselves. So you know, it's cool. Their pro-communication policy is cool, and I'm glad to see that they're keeping that up.
So that's what we think about this issue. At least, if you have any other thoughts or you disagree with this completely, let us know down in the comments below. We always love to hear what you think. Like the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new around here. Check out some more of our content right about here. There's a link to Patreon here if you're interested in supporting us, and we'll see you again in the next video. Bye for now.